I didn't cover this election as much as I could have, mainly because, to be honest with you, I expected negative results, and there's so much going on. As you all know, Poland is Hitlerville. At least historically, it has been when Hitler personally marched eastward to, conquer Poland. He implanted Hitler seeds in the soil, and they took root, and Poland has never been the same. Seriously, Poland politically has not been a great place for a long while. Their far-right party has been in charge for a time, but as of the elections that took place yesterday, no longer. A coalition of the liberal and center-right parties, among others, now substantially outnumbers the far-right party that has been in charge for like a decade. Poland's liberal pro-EU opposition on Monday looked on track to form the next government after official partial results and exit polls showed the ruling nationalists losing their parliamentary majority in the nation's most pivotal election in decades. This is actually massive news. Poland is, right now, Ukraine is embroiled in conflict. Poland is kind of, sort of, the bridge between the EU and Eastern Europe. Poland is, of course, European, aligns heavily with Western Europe and a lot of stuff, but Poland has enough tie to its region and to its neighbors that it's always felt kind of interstitial, right? Where Poland, nobody believes that Poland is an ally of Russia, far from it, but at the same time, Poland culturally and geopolitically has ties to Eastern Europe and Russia as well in ways that Western Europe definitely doesn't. Also, Poland has been weirdly socially conservative for a while, like for a country that has been aligned with the West in the way that it has kind of lagged behind in a lot of ways, I mean, it's right next to Germany. Germany is a generally pretty socially liberal country, and then right over there you have super Catholic, super conservative, really, really homophobic and misogynistic and stuff. And it's like, and a lot of that is because of the Hitler seeds that I was talking about. However, the incumbent Law and Justice Party has been ousted. The recent election results show a significant loss in power. In fact, let me pull those up just a second. Poland election results, just so we can see how big the difference is. Give me the results. Do we have the official results in, or are we still just working off of the vague exit polling and stuff? Come on, show me the results. Here's the map. I love maps. That's not really a map. This is text, actually. Here we go. Turnout, the highest in history, 22 million votes. Wow. Law and Justice Party has lost power in Poland. Okay, popular vote. The Law and Justice Party, that's the PiS party right here, 35.57% of the popular vote. 8 points less than last election. That is huge. That is significantly better than people expected. Now, again, you might notice that the PiS party still has more of the popular vote than any other party, but it's a parliamentary system. So the coalition between the KO, the TD, and others, I don't know if these two are part of that coalition as well, but just these two on their own are enough to overwhelm the PiS party. They are? So all of these are part of the coalition? Lewica is, Konfederacja is Nazi? Okay, so this is the Nazi party. Don't pay attention to them, okay? Between KO, TD, and Lewica, all together, you have 53.5%, which you might notice is 18 percentage points higher than the PiS party. That's a pretty significant majority, huh? Massive shift in overall popularity there. And this is huge. This is the first Polish election we've had since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I'm willing to bet that EU skepticism is looking a lot worse to the people of Poland now that the alternative to the EU, Russia, is doing, monstrous, insane shit, literally against the border. Ukraine touches Poland. You all know that, right? The Ukraine war is happening right there. There have literally been missiles from Russia that have gone over the border and hit Polish territory, The map. We love our maps. The PiS party, as you can see, is heavily concentrated in the east. The closer to Russia, or I guess the closer to Ukraine, the more likely you are to PiS. Whereas the opposite is the case the other way. It really is crazy how much of this comes down to geography, right? The portions of the country that are closer to Germany, more likely to be liberal. The portions that are over closer to Ukraine, more likely to piss. Wacky, huh? Obviously, Warsaw heavily leans liberal because, again, big cities tend to be relatively left-leaning. You know how it is. The rural areas of Poland are deeply Hitler Catholic. Deep Hitler Catholicism going on over there, as I understand it. Generally speaking, rural areas just tend to be Hitler-esque. Many such cases, many such places, you know? It's like that over here in the United States as well. Okay, so that's all very good. This massive shift in Poland away from nationalist far-right politics towards liberal pro-EU politics is another... This is big for a few reasons. First of all, it's big from the, like, Russification of Eastern Europe perspective. Like, Russia's behavior has led to Finland joining NATO. It's led to the Baltic states leaning more towards us. It's lent towards, like, Ukraine being much more left-leaning and pro, like, the Western Europe, you know? There's a big shift that's been taking place because of Russia's behavior, and this, I think, is a big part of it, which is good. You know, it's good. It's good that that shift is happening. Additionally, and this is the big thing for me, this is an indication that Poland is not going the direction of Hungary. Hungary has been one of the... Hungary is the greatest concentration of the Hitler seeds, okay? For those who don't know, Hungary is currently effectively ruled by a fascist dictator, Viktor Orban, who somewhat legislatively and judicially took control of the country. He was not crazy popular when he took control of the country, but it didn't matter. If you take control of the country, it doesn't really matter how popular you are. And Hungary and Viktor Orban have basically been like the petri dish for the development of fascism in liberal democracies. Hungary was a liberal democracy. Not crazy liberal, but it was undeniably a liberal democracy that has backslid into fascism, in large part because of the weakness of their institutions, the complicity of their people and of their institutions, the fact that they had a lot of, like, Russian support for Viktor Orban, which meant that they could benefit from the propaganda network. I've been worried about Hungary, and for good reason. Hungary and Viktor Orban are also the petri dish that the Republicans have been looking at. Republicans held CPAC, Conservative Conference, their big conference, in Hungary. They've had Viktor Orban speak at CPAC. And the Republicans' plan for taking over our country is to just do what Viktor Orban did. Be somewhat popular, but not fully popular, and then twist and abuse and manipulate the legislative, legal, and institutional processes to break the democratic system until eventually you're in charge and there's nothing they can do about it. Both Republicans and Vladimir Putin have been very invested in the Hitlerification of Hungary. And I've been worried that Poland might go the same way. But really, this is really good news. Hungary has been the test bed for this. But the swing here is massive. I mean, just speaking in terms of popular vote, -8 points. I don't mean to belabor the point here. It's just a really big deal. Wait, the second map is for the Senate? There's two? Oh, that's right, there are two. Piss got absolutely crushed there. Wow, holy shit! Guys, this is the first time that I'm looking at the Senate map. Holy shit. The anti-Piss coalition got 15 seats, and the Piss party lost 15. Wow. 66 to 34. That's a super majority. It's huge. 2-1, basically, in the Senate. Of course, it's a coalition, so there's bound to be some infighting, but still. Yeah, hold your piss, boys. What does PIS stand for? It's the Law and Justice Party, but they speak Polish. The coalition is united, right? I'm sure there will be fractioning within the coalition, but from my understanding, this is a huge deal. And every everyone that I see, every institution, every individual, every journalist, whatever, seems to be incredibly excited. Unless they're far right, in which case they're really upset about this. So that's good too. The piss lovers are not happy right now. Not happy. Yeah, shit has overtaken piss. I feel like I'm doing a bad job selling just how consequential this is. It's just a bad result here. I feel like in a way, Poland is kind of like the groundhog of Eastern and Central Europe. Poland is the most influential country in its region, like, because Germany is a Western European country. So in terms of like Central or Eastern European, Poland has like a huge cultural sway. And if Poland had shifted further towards nationalism, I think that would have been a very bad indicator for its adjacent countries. This might indicate a positive swing broadly. Lucy said it would have been the last election. Yeah, the results here are very, very heartening. Poland is on track to become the third most powerful country in the EU and as the representative for most of Eastern Europe. Yeah. So Poland is the litmus test for Eastern Europe? I think to a large extent, yeah, you know. Countries, look, Eastern and Central Europe are fraught with ethnic conflicts, a lot of bad blood, bad history, and also a lot of these countries are microscopic ethnostates, you know, like the Balkan region is tiny in comparison. Poland is a very large, very influential country in the region. I mean, look, Germany is unquestionably Western European, and for that reason, their influence, their sway, it's regionally enormous, but it trends more west than east. Poland, on the other hand, is unquestionably an Eastern European country. I mean, maybe some idiots disagree with this, but I certainly don't. The Baltic countries up here, strong EU allies. Finland, Sweden, Norway, strong EU allies. So this whole like Northern European chunk, they're with us. Not big Russia fans, okay? And then over Western Europe, you know, obviously Western Europe is an EU ally. Great. Is Greece Eastern or Western Europe? Greece is absolutely Eastern Europe. Greece is stinky Europe, okay? Greece is, get your economy in order, you stinky bitches. Greasy Europe. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is like, think of the geography, right? So Italy right now has a fascist government. Sorry. But also they're Italians, so they're not that threatening. Germany, liberal democracy, right? Austria, basically just Germany. Czechia, I don't know anything about Czechia, but I've heard that Prague is a beautiful vacation destination. So to this whole area right here, who leads them? Well, Ukraine is currently completely at war, and Belarus is basically just Russia. So knocking those out of the way, looking at this region right here, Central and Eastern Europe, leaving aside those countries in the Baltics, it's Poland. Romania has like the size to potentially be a larger regional power, but for reasons that I don't fully understand, Romania doesn't seem to demonstrate regional power proportional to its size. I'm sure I could read up more on that, but I don't really know why exactly. Massive corruption issues? Yeah, that's probably common to the region. No. Romania gets fucked over by the EU too, though. Makes sense. So, in terms of like, where will this block of countries go? I'm talking just everyone down here, everyone east of Austria, everyone south of Ukraine, whatever, this chunk of countries, you know? I've just been worried that it was going to go the Hungary direction because Hungary is a country that had a very promising future as a liberal democracy with a relatively robust economy with the potential to do impressive stuff, you know, comparatively speaking. We're talking Eastern Europe here. But again, backslid into fascism. So if that sets the trend for all these countries, that's really bad. Poland's shift, it just makes me feel good. You know, that's the reason I haven't ended the segment yet. I just want the excuse to talk about this more because I'm trying to emotionally convey the hope that I feel for the future of Poland. Slovakia voted for the right-wing party a few weeks ago. That is true. However, we have to consider something important, which is that nobody cares about Slovakia. What is the capital of Slovakia? Bratislava or Kosika? Good luck, Slovakia. Poland is a very relevant and influential country. Their movement is meaningful. Romania is Europe's Mexico's Mexico. What the does that mean? It's not wrong though. Yeah. Hello racist LMFAO. Yeah, I used to think that jokes about Mexico were racist, but then I grew up around a bunch of Mexicans and they can't stop making jokes about Mexico, so it's really one of those like adjacency. You know, it's like really one of those who you've talked to kind of deals.